garden in the summer to let parents know that the Museum of Modern Art had an art school. I got involved with it in 1968. And I got involved with it as a result of my involvement with the teenagers, with How You Act, taking the young people down to the Museum of Modern Art. And out of that grew a concern for some of the junior council members and my personal concern that the kids had to come all the way down to 52nd Street in order to see anything that anyway related to fine arts. Out of that grew the Studio Museum. And as a result of my involvement with the Studio Museum, I was asked to help the Museum of Modern Art get this. They didn't know whether it should be a program for teenagers or a program for young people or what have you, and I suggested that they have it for young children. Well, what we've done with the children, with the workshops that are offered, is sort of take their lead. We started with just painting, 3D construction, mobile, and clay.
We're going to do that, sir.
Every piece of white.
How you make them?
At the 3D construction collage table, we had salt and things for the kids to make collages with, and they said, oh, this collage, I want to make a vest. You know, so we got them into designing, and then we introduced the sewing and design workshop. And the animation, the kids said they wanted to get into photography, and photography led to animation, and animation led to live filmmaking. So one thing has sort of led to the other by just sort of listening to what the kids, said that they wanted. The work that the children do, regardless of whether it's painting, clay, collage, what have you, does give you some idea of what the child is feeling internally or where he is in his place and time. We don't look at portfolios, we don't look at children's previous drawings, we're not interested in whether the parent thinks that they're talented, quote, or not, because basically we feel that every child has within him the ability to express himself. And that's what we're about, giving the child the freedom to say through symbolic representation what it is that he feels and he thinks. Children go through stages. They go through what is called a scribble stage, and nobody knows what's going on. There's no real thought going on. It's just a kinesthetic motion, the excitement of, putting the brush to paper. And they move from that to realizing that they have power over this brush. And they start making circles, half circles, and triangles, and things that somehow either it comes from internal or from public symbols that they've seen. And if anybody who's read Piaget, which I had not read when this occurred to me, but after reading Piaget, it all sort of swelled it out so you can see exactly what happens. Art educators such as Victor D'Amico and Britton and Lowenfeld pioneered in the area of understanding the value of symbolic development for young people through the uses of the arts. A lot of what they had written, I had read. The Children's Art Carnival has been cited as a model for the nation by the National Endowment for the Arts as a result of the work that it's done with children in the arts. We see approximately 900 youngsters each week between the ages of 4 through 18 during the regular school year. There's no fee. Any child can come, and all that is required for registration is the parent signature. Our Title I Creative Reading Through the Arts program uses the art activity as a bridge for youngsters who are reading 1 to 2 years below level. The art activity permits a level of communication which enables verbal and written breakthroughs. The child becomes interested in communicating his own written words, which leads to a curiosity and a want to read the words of others.
My bike, me riding my bike up and down the hill. Look, here comes Bill and Sue and Betty Lou. They might want to ride, so I better hide. When it is hot, you get bit by mosquitoes a lot. When it is hot, I wear shirts a lot. It is very warm in the air. It's for everyone to share.
Masks have played a significant role in rituals and celebrations throughout history. The Carnival, in cooperation with the Board of Ed, in its program that's entitled Arts and General Education, has for the past few years placed professional artists in both public and parochial schools to develop special arts programs and projects that would not ordinarily have been available. Art has traditionally been considered something on a pedestal. It's an elitist thing. When in fact it is a part of the balance that's necessary for education. It's a part of our spiritual. It's a part of ourselves. The way we relate to color, the way we respond. Just like music is. Now the average child should know notes just like they know alphabets. I either can't tell you C when I hear it, because I never got that. Just like the average teacher has no, they have a difficult time dealing with kids with art because they haven't gotten it. And they're frightened by it. Just like I would be frightened if somebody says you got to teach music. But what we do at the Carnival, we put out the 5 basic colors: red, yellow, blue, black, and white. And we constantly reinforce it. This is what they're using. And as they make colors with these 5 colors, these are the 5 basic colors that make all other colors in the universe in terms of pigments, not in terms of light, the difference. If you point it out to them repeatedly, a child who's had that kind of experience will become aware of color much earlier than the child who hasn't. And the average adult does not know how to make brown. The children in the Carnival summer program in 1976 were fortunate enough to be involved in developing and producing segments for a children's program entitled In Tune in cooperation with CBS. One of the segments was entitled That Makes Me Angry. The afternoon and evening programs are specifically geared to careers. Not only do they apprentice, so to speak, with the artist teacher who's a professional person in the field. We take them on trips to see what's happening in industry in those areas. The arts come into play in every aspect of our life. So many people are not aware of all the careers that are available through the arts. People don't realize that the chair that they're sitting in was designed by somebody who was probably who had been initially an artist. I find New York City extremely inspiring. It gives me a great sense of becoming, and I think it does so for others. We raise the money through foundations, corporations, individuals, National Endowment for the Arts, New York State Council on the Arts, the city, USOE career training, and just about anything that you can think of. We get money from all different sources. So I personally believe that everybody has an innate ability to be creative, and if we don't, it's because somehow it was not nurtured. And what we try to do is nurture every child that walks through the door, that part of him that is inspired.